Hey guys, welcome to this video. So today I am doing a track breakdown for you guys, and this is a new future garage song I wrote a few days ago with my friend, and it's coming out in a few days. But by the time you guys see this video, the song is probably out. So just in case you haven't heard the song, I'll link it in the description or whatever. There's gonna be a link somewhere, and you guys can check it out for yourself. And yeah, I really hope. By the way, I really hope this microphone stand doesn't fall because I just recorded a video like half an hour ago, and in the process, the microphone stand just fell on me and just ruined the whole video. So I had to do it all over again. And this is actually the second take. But okay, I've talked way too much, so I'm just gonna play little snippets of the song for you. Yeah, so that's the ending of the song, together with the last 8 bars of the second drop. Well, take note that it's not like how the entire song sounds because that's I've split basically. The song has two sections. So the first section is this very ambient, uplifting, somewhat emotional kind of song. And the second part, I was going for like that dark synthwave vibe. So as you can probably hear, the tonality here is totally different, and so I'm just gonna do it part by part, and I'm gonna start from the top. I'm gonna break down like what the individual elements are doing. Okay, so here's the intro, and honestly, there isn't much going on. It's just this piano I have over here. Sounds like this. And two synth patch have down here. And yeah. So for this piano patch here, it's it's like a felt piano, and basically what a felt piano is, it's unlike the traditional like grand piano you would see on the concert stage, where it's like very majestic sounding. That a felt piano is like typically very emotional, and basically it's perfect for this kind of ambient music. I'm just gonna play you a little thing. Oh, it doesn't sound that good. Higher on the octave, so I'm gonna lower an octave. So like, even that was just one piano instance, and it already sounds pretty good. Not gonna lie. And for this part, it's just a melody. I mean, a melody, but like it just a few four notes, and stacked on top of each other in octaves. So if I only had one octave, it doesn't sound that good. And with the 2 octave stacks, it sounds a lot fuller and more polished, you can even say. And let's check out the synth. Oh, so this is from Spitfire's Ambient Solstice contact library. It's actually a electronic guitar, so it's not a like a synth patch, but it does sound like a synth. And yeah, it sounds pretty good. And here we have a little Diva preset. I use Diva primarily for like synthwave songs, but like this particular preset also just works very well in this ambient. But you can also use it for like those minor gloomy sounds as well. It's gonna come later in the second section, but here's what I have. It's just 4 notes to make this a little prettier, and minor details in the intro. Okay, so that's it for the intro, and here comes the next section. So the ambient setup is pretty much the same. It has all like the pianos and synth down there, but the only thing added here is this pad, which sound like this, and some vocal. Looking your eyes, I see someone waiting for me. I did some really heavy processing on the vocals because without any post processing, it just sounded kind of shit. So I can't live without auto-tune. Oh, by the way, these are sung by me, so yeah. I don't know how to sing. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back on because I don't want to embarrass myself. The worst stuff I had. I swear I disabled like one of the effects, but I don't remember which one it is. Maybe it was OTE. Okay, well, whatever. I don't care. And oh, and this is also me. I did some additional processing on this, so it's 12 an octave up. So I basically first step, I pitched this an octave up, and I had auto-tune, of course, and OTT, a shit ton of reverb. Like it's all the way 100% wet, and even more reverb. So this is a the Ableton stock reverb, and I also have a external reverb, VST reverb at the end. And I also get rid of all the low ends because I don't really like the reverb low ends messing up my mix. So that's what I did. And what I have else, and oh, this is just a little like effects. I believe was like I also downloaded this from Spitfire. So I think it was like a granular synthesis of a ice, like a physical ice, like ice cube, just rolling on the ground, and somebody sampled that and decided to turn it into a granular sample. And I really like this I really like this sample. I've used it a lot of times in my songs. And what's this? Oh, it's just some like vocals in the background. And oh yeah, and this is also ambient solstice. So big shout out. And so besides the vocal, I also have this electronic guitar patch here. It would sound like this. It's a contact library with an amp. So without any processing, I mean it sounds pretty okay, but it doesn't sound as ambient as it was in the song. So to get that sound, I added I guess you call this preamp or an amp, whatever, but it's from Neuro DSP. It's called Archetype, and it's the best like guitar processing unit I've ever seen. It just makes every guitar sound so good. And just lower the sound a little bit, because you probably can't hear me talking with this loud. I had some soothe, so it just cuts off the annoying resonance frequencies, and AEQ to get rid of the low ends, and reverb as always, and sidechain at the end. So like people always like debate if they should put the sidechain in front of the reverb or after reverb. So it sounds different, like quite different. If I just show you in the drop. So this is after reverb, so everything is getting compressed by the sidechain. But let's say if I put this before the reverb, it sounds like a lot less restricted. There has been a debate going on about this, but just to make this mix a little cleaner, I decided to put a sidechain after the reverb, unless it's like a really ambient element that doesn't really need much reverb. Sidechain. So here comes the drop. That's a drop. So let's see what kind of stuff are in it. So well, first of all, I've got the drums. So as you can hear, there's a lot of reverb on the claps and snares. I mean, without the reverb, it sounds kind of. It sounds quite empty without the reverb. So that's what I've added. And there's also like Foley's and to enhance like the rhythmic flow. And to be fair, there isn't much like to talk about for my drums. It's just kick, snare, or kick, clap, kick, click, clap, and some Foley just in random places. And I just copy pasted the whole thing. It's like literally the same throughout the whole drop. And let's check out the pianos. So actually, I've split it into two different sections. Not two different sections, but two different parts. So this is. So if you look at the notes, you can probably see it's all like the low notes, like the chord arpeggios, and if you're a pianist like me, it's basically the left hand accompaniment of thing, and this is the right hand section, which is the melody part. And for this, I have a very heavy processing. So if I just get rid of all the processing, it sounds like. It still sounds fine, but it doesn't have any. It's a lot more like. Well, if I add this, you can hear it like it just instantly adds life to the sound. Somebody's sending me messages. I'm gonna shut up. My apologies. Yeah. Oh, I'm back. So I have two delays right here. So one is like the normal delay you would find in Ableton, and this is like it's a grain delay. I don't really know how to explain this, but it just makes your sound a lot dreamy and granular, if you like. This pitch knob here is it controls the delayed sample pitch. So if I have set it to 0, it's basically the same sound you would. It probably functions like a normal delay or something. At least it sounds like a normal delay. But if I pitch this up, like all the delayed stuff is gonna be pitched an octave up, which is what that creates like that kind of granular sparkling sound. And as usual, reverb, some processing, EQ processing to get rid of the low mids, and also to cut a lot of the mids, and just a random preset I found for compressing all the bands, because like with the such a heavy delay and such a wet reverb, it just messes up my mix instantly. But with the multi-band compressor, it reduces that frequencies, but also maintains the sound because it's like real-time frequency adjustments instead of like just EQing this stuff, and also suit to cut out some of that, like the most annoying frequencies on the spectrum. And it's a very good plugin that I recommend. I think I've used like a lot of instances of suit in this project. So yeah. And besides that, I have a reef space in the background. Just like, wait, hang on a second. Yeah. It's basically 16 saw waves and a sub oscillator, and also this filter to get rid of the highs, and a tube distortion, a OTT, and a EQ to just boost a little bit of the low ends. So I have on the processing chain, I have basically mono the whole thing, and a compressor, and some more OTT. I was gonna use the saturator, but I realized it makes everything way too harsh. I mean, I guess it's fine if you use it, but I decided to leave it. And this EQ, which cuts all the highs after the distortion, because I had remember I had a distortion module on Serum, so I have to cut the highs once more in sidechain. Oh, this is from Spitfire Labs. It's a Talking Whales from the Granular Whale Song library, and I like this a lot. I think they've actually sampled so like Spitfire Audio themselves. I think they've actually sampled a real a whale, like the animal whale, like making sound, and they've sampled and somehow converted it into an instrument. And every note I play, it just gives me that instant mysterious vibe of being like underwater, undersea, like. And I use it all the time. And to just create another counter melody, have the same Solstice guitar patch as before, so it's literally the same. So I have the drop going for about 16 bars, and in the next 16 bars I decided to just switch up the drums so it doesn't sound too boring, and also I added some vocal just to enhance the vibe, I guess. So instead of I'm gonna play you the drums. So instead of this two-step garage style of drums, it becomes a 4 on the floor house beat. And yeah, and with everything else. That's pretty much for the drop, and it repeats itself quite often. And yeah, let's go to the breakdown. I believe it's the same piano from before, so let's skip that part. And also, I forgot to mention this, I added some pitch bend on the Reese bass. Let me play that in context. Yeah. So I decided that if I kept this this bass pattern, sorry, this is if I just play the root note and occasionally play an octave up, it's gonna sound quite boring. And so for the last part, I decided to play the root note, an octave up, and another fifth up, and back to the root note, just to create some movement low end. Keep your eyes set and candy thing. It's just playing two notes. I randomly found this while I was scrolling through the Solstice library, and I decided I could use this little embellishment. I mean, it's just like literally two notes, but it added somewhat like life to this. It's just like B and D sharp. Yeah. Second drop, and it's actually my favorite part of the song. To be fair, I prefer a lot more for like the minor like the dark vibe as opposed to this, but actually I like both. I just like this a little bit more. So the way I made this was well as I said, it was in the beginning of the video. This song was a collaboration between me and another friend, so he did most of the stuff for the drums and the bass, but I did everything else. I did like the synth and the melody and stuff. So let me just show you how I transitioned from the break to the drop. So I have this vocal which was the same as before. It sustains on like a high note, like F sharp, and it leads and it hints like another section is coming. So in order to prepare for that, I have this impact and some sweeps that are the same from previous sections, and this also like reverse like glass shattering sound. So I just reverse this, like reverse. It's gonna return to the original sound, so I can show you guys like what it sounds like. It's just like a glass breaking. So I really like this transition sound for some reason. And this it's a very low bass. It's a shame that I can't show you guys like directly on the patch here, so, because it was made in FL Studio and I couldn't convert it, so only had to do an audio export. But what it is basically the same neural reeds patch as this. Oh wait, too high. Yeah, like this, but with the filters removed. So it sounds quite like it sounds a lot more raw. And I was just doing this. I was automating like the cutoff. Stuff like this, and I was gonna add some like distortion, like even more distortion to this exported sample, but I realized it just makes everything like way too messy. So I just said not to get that sound. So aside from automating the cutoff, I also added like reverb just for ambience. Yeah, I think it's like something like this. Let me give the saturation. Yeah, something like this. And this is the same ambient pad as before. This thing is just, I think that pad, what the pad is doing is just playing a G minor chord. I always mess up this thing on my MIDI keyboard where it's like the octaves in the center wrong range, and it sounds terrible when I first play it. But ignore that, and this. I was just playing a G minor chord arpeggio on this patch. Something like this. It's quite easy. I mean, there's because I haven't added too much like variations on this thing. Just a basic arpeggio. But it actually works pretty well, like in this context. And for because this was the first 8 bars, and for the next 8 bars, I have a vocal which is introduced by this melody. So like this hints another section. So like whatever that is. And together with the vocal melody, I have this little counter melody at the bottom. So yeah, so a shout out to my friend, his name is 8byte, who provided me the vocal, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. Thank you. And I have this like fill for the percussion. So for the last 8 bars before the song ends, I have this newer bass. Oh wait, this is the Reese bass before. And I have this rack, which is from Underbelly, which is also known as You Suck at Producing on YouTube. And he made this rack, and I decided to just soak it in reverb. Look at this, it's like 90% wet. I did some like real recording with the knobs on my MIDI controller, so you can see that it has, yeah, this is the filter that is being automated. Okay, let me take out the reverb so you can hear that. So it has that like dubstep wow sound. And what I did was, so this was all like the same. I didn't modify the rack. I only added the reverb, some EQ to get rid of all the highs and lows, and only keep like this metallic texture in the middle. Some OTT and sidechain. Oh, and also I did like a low pass on the drums. Yeah, so that's the song, and I apologize for this very cliche ending. I couldn't think of a better way to end it, but well, another reason I did this was actually this song was a part of like a project I was doing, and it had like a very tight deadline, and I had to rush the song and finish it in like under 48 hours. It's not the all nighter event, but it's something else. So I had to rush the ending, and it sounded quite cliche. I hope that's okay, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there isn't much stuff to be talked about, other than some like chord, like melody writing stuff. Because one thing I like to do is I just like to put a lot of notes in my chords, so it sounds nice. Like take this for example. I don't know if I can show you, but I have chordy right here. So the song progressions, it sound like this. So it's basically a 4-5-6 progression. I know this is very cliche, it's very overused, but it just works very well. Stuff like that. So when I write those songs, so instead of using the basic triads like this, I always like to just put random notes in between the chords, like this. Like this is a E major chord, but with the second added, so I guess like E major add 2, and for the 5 chord, I like to add this like the 4 in the chord. So this chord, it's like literally one of my favorite chords. And for the G minor chord, I don't think you can make it like a G minor 9th with the like this. So yeah, that's what I do. I just like put random notes in my chord till it sounds nice. And it's a very common trick to uh when we're writing songs, and too bad I couldn't play that E note at the end, because like this is I only had this is the lowest note I can reach on my MIDI keyboard, so I if I play in B major, I can't reach the E, which is the fourth chord of the key. So that makes me very sad. Uh, and yeah. Oh, another thing is I did something with the voicing. So remember how I talked about like using a G, like a minor triad or major triad. Like if you just play like this, it doesn't sound as nice as you if you moved like the root down an octave. I mean, there's a lot of future garage songs that goes like something like that. So you can see why people do this. Like by moving the third up an octave, it enhances the tonality of the chord and just makes everything sound nice. I guess it's not just the minor chords, but also the major chords as well. Oh, as I said, I can't play the E note at the bottom. Well, that's fucking sad. Uh, how long do I have on this video? Oh god, it's like I've been it's 40 something minutes long. I doubt if anyone's gonna finish this video, but okay, okay, sure. Well, if you are you've watched this till the end, well done. Well, I'm really surprised that someone would actually do that. With the video being boring as fuck. But thank you very much for watching this video, and I really hope you've learned something new on whether it be like sound design, chord writing, music theory, whatever. And I I'm probably gonna do this more often on my channel, because this is the first video I've ever recorded with me talking, with me speaking like in real life. So uh, I may do this more often in the future. So watch out for that. And oh yeah, subscribe to my channel and all that stuff. Um, cool. And I will end this video now. See ya guys. Bye bye.